What
Pedro,
what's
how you doing,
up?
my man?
What's up?
Not much, man. It's your first time on Empire Universe Media, so welcome and thanks for taking the time.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you for the invite.
No problem, no problem. So I gotta ask, did you have a chance to watch the fights on last Friday?
No, normally I don't watch them live because here in Europe they got pretty late. Normally the main car starts at 3 a.m. here, so I rewatch them after.
Yeah,
But
so
yeah, but
you
I watch it. But I know what happened. But I know what happened.
yeah, so you do normally watch the fights afterhand, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you, when you watch the fights, do you tend to try to keep an eye on potential future opponents just to kind of get that first kind of get that
Always.
that background kind of info on them?
I normally follow guys like when they are not even in major leagues. Like I'll give you a quick example. I'm fighting now Mads Burnell, and I can tell you that I follow Mads like for quite some time. I knew like like when you feel there maybe one day, and I always had that feeling with him even before he got into the UFC and everything. And here he is.
Yeah, yeah, and so you are going to be fighting him at Bellator 284. Yeah, so let's kind of talk about that. He's kind of coming off a loss. He was on a bit of a roll. Do you kind of expect him to come out a bit aggressive, maybe trying to come back, kind of have that kind of comeback kind of situation? What are you expecting from your opponent?
I don't know. Like I don't. I'm counting always with everything and anything, but I don't know. I don't see Mads as a guy that really gets into it. You can notice that he likes to scrap. As do I. But I don't see him as a instant guy. I see him more like a kind of more cool, cold guy that just go there and trying to do his work. So no, I'm not counting that he's gonna do that, but I'm gonna be prepared for that.
Yeah, and I mean, that being said, so does that kind of make him even more of a dangerous opponent, knowing that he's not going to be emotionally invested?
No, I mean it's dangerous. Period. You don't need to. I don't need to present him. Every now, everyone knows how good he is, and that's why I wanted so much this matchup because not only he has their third place on the rankings that I want, but also because I know that beating him will finally, kind of receive the credit that I deserve. Like already beat great names, but I never really got. I feel that I never got the recognition that I deserve. So I do know that for sure that after I beat him and in pretty good fashion, it will for sure give you the recognition that I deserve.
Absolutely, absolutely. And another thing, this event's going to be in Dublin, Ireland. I understand that you're a Portugal native, but your second home is now in Dublin since
Yes.
2017. Uh, how does it feel to be able to fight in that kind of home crowd and feel the energy from those crazy Irish fans?
Man, it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts because it's always good to fight home. No matter where you're from, fighting with your home crowd supporting you is always great. But fighting in Dublin and your home crowd being Dublin, it's something else. It's different. I had that first experience with Daniel Weichel, big fight. It was in last year September's card, and it was the best experience that I had in my career. It was amazing, and this time I think we'll top it, and like I have no doubt it will be amazing. But I'll make sure that I'll put on a show that they deserve, and it will be like all together 5-star show.
Yeah, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure the fans are looking forward to it. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think Bellator has ever really come to like, somewhere like Portugal. I mean, what is it going to take for them to do that? Have you ever talked with Bellator?
Yeah, we kind of not direct talks, but of course there's like kind of quick talks about it. But it's normal that for now it didn't happen because I'm the only Portuguese signed guy. They don't have any other Portuguese guy or even Spanish. That if they wanted to do like kind of a mixed country card, if you want to say like that. So it's kind of a dodgy situation, but just be patient. I want to do that. I really want to do that because it will be historical for my country because never ever before it was held a big show in my country, and I know that there will be massive for the MMA in Portugal, to grow. But we have to be patient because to these kind of things happen, you always have to depend on the athlete's success. There's no other way. And right now I'm just focusing on myself, and I know that win after win, get on the top of the division, eventually get again fighting for the belt. I know that there will be enough noise to eventually make a show in Portugal. But until then, it's just like head down, keep working, keep winning, keep doing what I'm doing, and eventually things will happen.
Awesome. And that being said, when this fight happens, with Mads Burnell, what is it that makes you the victor in this fight?
I don't see myself as a veteran. The only thing that I have eventually more than him, it's more Bellator fights. But
Sorry, no, I meant to ask you what makes you the victor in this upcoming fight.
the victor. I sorry, I understood the veteran. I was like, there's a lot of things. I think we are very similar stylistically. We both like to go forward. We don't like very much to go backwards. We both have good striking game. We both have a great ground base with good submission skills. So we match perfectly. But I do see myself. I've been working a lot of specific skill sets, develop them, and on the course of this year, and I can start to see them develop, and I can see those skills being showcased in the fight, and step by step, and even in a fight, step by step, the opener will be there, and with the Irish support, I know that I'll be victorious that night.
Excellent to hear. Now that being said, I know you're focused on this fight, and I would never ask you to overlook any opponent. But let's say you're victorious. Mads Burnell, he got beat by
not if, when.
when. After looking at his former opponents, like a guy like Adam Borsch, I think he's about ranked number 3. He has beat him. Obviously, you want to get to the title. Is that kind of a guy that you would look at next as a potential guy to kind of get you closer? I mean, I don't think he's going to be getting a title shot. They're probably going to be running that other fight back with the title.
With Borix, yeah, like, to be honest, that would be great for me. But when that time comes, because every time after a win, there's always the normal question, what's next? And to be honest, the Adam Borix won't be in my head for one simple reason, because that's kind of their soap opera with the 3 top guys. That is Patricio, Adam Borix, and AJ McKee. There, we don't really know what's going to happen. So I'm not going to even lose much of my time focusing on there, like calling, and I don't know what's going to happen. So, there's guys like, guys with like a lot of hype and big name like Pico there. But we'll see what's happening next, because right now my hands are full with Mads, and right now the only thing that matters to me it's beating him, and after that we'll see what's the featherweight scene is in September, and we start to make the moves.
Yeah, and I guess I want your thoughts on former opponent Patricio Pitbull. He obviously got his title back against AJ McKee. Did you watch that fight, and what do you think about the decision?
Yeah, I watched the fight, and I saw exactly like the judges. I gave the first, first, third, and fourth to Patricio, and second and fifth to AJ McKee. So that's how I saw it. But at the same time, it was a very close fight. So if eventually the judges will give the split decision, no, it wasn't split, it was unanimous. But if they will give the decision to McKay, I wouldn't say that it will be unfair, but I think was pretty fair, because that, at least it was the way that I saw it, and I think was deserved. It was a great fight.
Absolutely, and I know with him being your former opponent, obviously you want to get another shot at the title eventually. Who's to say what's going to happen between that time now? But if you had looking at what former opponents, or excuse me, what his former opponents had done in fights against him, and what you had previously done in the fight against him, what would you change if you ever had a rematch with him?
A lot of things changed in the meanwhile. I'm a completely changed fighter till after that. But mainly, what I would do differently was starting with following my game plan. Going to that fight, I was over my head. I was super massively overconfident that it was a done deal. And we're talking about one of the greatest featherweights of all time that possess a lot of power in his hands. And I didn't really care. I was like, I was clearly over my head. And I truly remember, I got into the cage, and then he got into the cage. And when he got into the cage, I remember to look at him and was like, "You are done," you know. And you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna dispatch you in the first round, and that's it. And and I completely throw the game plan through the window, because nothing that I did on that first round was supposed me to do. Everything that I did was what I was supposed to do was exactly the opposite. Kind of play on distance. Be patient. Kind of take the advantage that I have with my car. Not that it has a bad cardio, but cardio is my main thing, and my pace, especially on a late round. So that was kind of the game plan. Let them work on those first two, and then start to see and go. And I didn't care. I was like, fuck it, I'll just go after him, and I pay the price. So to start, I will definitely follow the game plan, and then there's several areas that I want to work. I'm working already, and I want to work, and it will massively do a big change there. But that's specifics, and if that time comes, I'll think about. I'll start to think about the specific. Right now, I just let it be.
Excellent. What is your go-to cheat meal after every fight?
My main, like, the list is huge, but my main one, my favorite one, is a nice pepperoni pizza.
Yeah, nothing more greasier than a nice pepperoni pizza after a fight.
A nice cheesy pepperoni pizza, man. That's heaven. That's heaven.
Does it ever like because of the after dieting and cutting weight and everything, does it ever like physically affect you after a fight?
What do you mean? Sorry.
Like you stay so disciplined with your diet. After eating something, do you feel like really like lethargic, and do you feel like, oh, I can't get up, or like
No, no, no. Like, what I feel is the past. Right now, I don't do that anymore. Uh, Not that because I was always in my entire life, I was very professional about everything. everything. Like you have to work, you have to have work ethic, and that's it. Doesn't matter how. Doesn't matter that I'm doing what I love. This is my work, so I have to be professional. But in what concerns of food, after a fight, I will always go nuts, and it will always get into that stage that after maybe a week of eating so much crap that I was like, man, I can't eat more of this. I need to eat something good. Like I will feel that my body was asking me to eat something good. So what concerns of there, that's the only thing that I kind of have. Kind of feeling that okay, it's enough. It's enough.
And like so previous fighters I've been asking in this series is all about obviously social media is a big thing with MMA fighters, and you always have good fans, bad fans. But have you ever like received any weird DMs, weird fan mail, bad fan mail, anything like that?
Yeah, right now is it's kind of easy. It's kind of quiet, but yeah, especially when I fought for the belt, and even after that, around that time, it was mad. It was mad. Like every week, I would receive like a couple of weird message from like everything, like from people asking me money to people calling me this, calling me that, and around that time, I kind of it was that like I still have that careful, but that time I had even more careful, when I was to share something about my family, because yeah, I have one or two, bad messages and comments about it, and it was the only times that I kind of blocked someone, instead of just answer, I just blocked that person. But yeah, I had a couple of few mad ones, and especially requests that people just made to me to do and things like this. But yeah, most of them were funny. At least I found them funny.
Excellent, excellent. Just one more for you, and I'll let you go here. But obviously, you're training at SBG Ireland. You got John Kavanagh over there. You got a lot of great coaches over there. I gotta ask, have you heard anything about Conor McGregor? I know you probably get asked this all the time.
No, I didn't. Nothing that people don't know. I just every all that I know, it's all everyone knows.
Yeah, man's a mystery.
Yeah, exactly.
But Pedro, again, I just want to thank you for taking your time. I know you have a fight to prepare for, so I do appreciate you taking the time to come in and talk a little bit about your fight. And good luck on September 23rd.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me and inviting me. It was a pleasure, and that's it. So stay tuned.